Hey there, I'd like to introduce you to the Bullets widget for BigCommerce. This is part of Page Builder Widgets app. If you haven't got it already, install it in your BigCommerce store and then go into the Customize tab and install this and the other widgets. It'll show up here in the Customizer and you just scroll down to where it says Bullets PBW, which is Page Builder Widgets. And let's drag that into your store in the Customizer. And you can see it automatically has a couple sample bullets here. You can remove a bullet, you can duplicate or add a bullet just like that to get a whole bunch of them. You could put your content in here, my content, and click save to actually make that content live. You can move bullets up and down in priority. So if you wanted that one to be the second one, you could drag it just like that. And there's a settings that's available up here in the three dots. So click the three dots and then choose settings. Now there's four different sections of the settings. There's heading, bullet settings, text settings, widget settings. So if you want to use a heading, which is completely optional, then you can come in here and say optional heading. And if you want that to be centered or right aligned or anything like that, you can. If you want to change it to be an H2, you can. If you want to override the default styling from your theme, you can click custom right here and it'll open up some additional options here to like change it to bold or to change the font size on desktop and mobile, just like that. You can change the color size. Super, super easy. Or you can go back to your theme default. You can set margins here. So this is the margin around that heading. So if you want to give it a little bit more space between that and the bullets down below, or remove the space altogether, or maybe indent it, you can do all that stuff right here with these settings. And again, you can just remove that if you don't want to use a heading. Next section here, the bullet settings. This lets you change the style of the bullet. So if you want to say use an arrow, for example, you could do that, or a check, or a checkbox, or an X. You can do all that sort of thing just like that. You can again change the color of the bullets themselves right here. So maybe we want to make this a green, right? Because we're saying green check marks. These are good. You can give, if you want more space between the words, for example, you can use the padding here. This is the padding around the bullets to give it a little bit more right padding. If you have bullets that are long enough to wrap, then you can use this vertical alignment to either top align it, bottom align it, or middle align it with the content that's to the right. If you want to put the bullets on the right of the content, you can do that. And if you're using one of these arrows, like this one that points right, well, that doesn't make any sense. So you can click this right here to flip the arrows and point back to the content. Um, Now, if you're using a check mark, you probably don't want backwards check marks, even if you do want them on the right. Going into the next section here, you have all of your normal text controls where you can, bold the text or whatever you need to do. If you want to change the text color to blue, if you want to change the text sizes, you can do all that stuff. If you need to like left align or right align or whatever, it doesn't really look right with the left bullets, but if you had the right bullets, then that might be a little bit more important to do something like that. We go back to left align. All right, so padding here is the space around the text here. So if you want to maybe add a little bit of padding here below each one to give each one a little bit more breathing room, you could certainly do that. It's entirely up to you. Widget settings. This is for the entire widget, right? And so you can give the entire widget margin and padding. You can give it a border. So let's just go ahead and say, let's just give it a black border. So I'm going to give it a black color and then make it 2 pixels wide, right? And so that looks pretty good, except, it looks kind of weird how some of this stuff is coming right up to the border. So this is where having some of this padding makes a little bit of sense. So if we say 20, 40, 20, 40, look at that, kind of gives it a nice feel, just like that. And you know what looks weird is that it's left aligned when it's a box. So let's go ahead and center align the whole box, which is really nice. And let's say that there was some content right underneath this and we wanted to Give it a little bit of breathing room, maybe below and above, just like that. We can do that. And if you wanted to give the whole thing a background, which is nice, look at that. We can do that. Maybe that looks pretty nice, but let's remove the border. So you can see there's so much flexibility that you have with the Bullets widget. You can put it anywhere. And one thing you might consider is using something like a layout and using an image on one side of it, for example. So let's just do that, and then um, putting the bullets to the side of it, right? How cool does that look? All right, that's the Bullets widget. Thanks.